Y'all, it is Paula with Hillbilly Orchids. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody's having a fantastic week. It is weekend time again, Phal Friday time again, and yes, Phal Friday summer care. Okay, let's talk about what you need to do to care for these guys during the heat of the summer. Well, basically, in the heat of the summer, right now, it's really hot, but the best thing you can do for these guys is keep them fed in the summertime. Feed, feed, feed. That's all they really need in the summertime, because that helps them store nutrients away for when they're going to spike again. Even though some are still in spike, they still need fed. They definitely need food. That one, that's not going to come off very easy, but that one's dead. So yeah, that's definitely what you need to do in the summertime is just keep them still in their really good light, keep them in their really bright indirect light, and feed them really well. Now, my feed is up to 200 parts per million in the summertime. That is what I feed, and everybody knows I use the Jack's 2-part system. There's no sense in trying anything else. There's nothing else to go to. It just works the greatest. All of my plants, including my Phalaenopsis, respond so well to the nitrogen being separate in the mix that it works. It works really, really well. So I'll never use anything else. And the Jack's is really super stable too. When I did try the MSU for a while, and it's not very stable, and I would have to, in 2 days time, I would have to make more fertilizer. And with the amount of orchids that I have, I can't make fertilizer every day I need to use it. So I do make my fertilizer in 32-gallon garbage cans. I have 3 of them, and I just put a lid on it, and that's how it stays. And Jack's is so stable that it stays for 2 weeks. If I put a lid on it, I can use that fertilizer in 2 weeks. I can test it, and that fertilizer will be exactly the same. It's really super stable, and that's what I like about it. When I make up my water, I need to make up my water to be able to water everything and be done. I can't stop in the middle and make new water. It's just too much. It takes too long, and I need the amount of time I need to water all my plants. That's just how it is when you have a very large collection like I do. But again, like I said, I am feeding basically a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm feeding 100 parts per million of nitrogen and 100 parts per million of the 5-12-26, the macronutrients, and everybody's looking great. Like I said, you should just be able to look at my plants and see that the Jack's works wonders for them. It shouldn't have to be something that's word of mouth that, I'm telling you, use Jack's because it's really good. It does work. It really does. And my plants speak for themselves. They really do. So, but that's what I'm feeding right now in the summer is 100 of nitrogen, 100 of Part B, the macronutrients. And it's a really good food to feed. So I'm basically feeding 200 parts per million, and these guys are doing wonderfully with it. I feed it basically all around. I feed it to everything. I feed it to my cats. I feed it to my Phalaenopsis, because if I notice a plant is struggling a little bit from, different point of view or something, then that plant I might need to work with a little more, with a little different workup of nutrients. But for the most part, generally, overall, I use the same for all my plants around my whole grow space. My Phalaenopsis in the kitchen get it. My Cattleyas get it. My Vandas get it. Everybody gets that, because the amount of plants I have, I can't separate different amounts of fertilizer for different plants. It would just take too long. So basically, I keep everybody kind of at a happy medium is what I try to do. And the 200 parts per million seems to be working out great for pretty well everybody. I even feed my catasetums the same thing. I hear some people feed their catasetums like 800 parts per million. Not me. I don't do it. That's a lot. I don't feed anything 800 parts per million because that's a lot. I would really be afraid I'd get root burn with that kind of a feeding. But, you know, everybody does it differently, so it's entirely up to you. Right, I am back, and I set my phone down in water. Yikes. I'm filling my garbage cans now as we speak, as I'm doing this video. But yeah, so basically in the summertime, that's really all you need to be doing, is you need to be boosting the Phalaenopsis with food and nutrients for this plant to be able to store what it can. Now, mind you, they don't have big storage organs. They're not like Cattleyas. They don't have big pseudobulbs that they can store, you know, nutrients in, water or anything. You know, their storage organ is their basic axis in the middle. That's all they have. Their spikes are somewhat considered storage organs. They do store a lot of potassium in their spikes. So, you know, if they have spikes on them, they have storage organs. But pretty much so, their storage organs are their leaves and their axis. And if they don't have very good leaves and very good axes, then they don't have much for storage. So you feed them, you get the roots really going, and you really get these guys built up for over the winter time, so that when it comes time to bloom again, when the temperatures change, then your Phalaenopsis will be changing. And basically, that's what I do. I do that for the moth Phalaenopsis as well as the species. This is a species Phalaenopsis, and like these are just moth Phalaenopsis. So I do that for all of them. I don't pull any distinguishing plants apart. I don't say, oh, this is a species, so I'm going to do it differently. No, I don't say this is a novelty Phal, so I'm going to do it different. No, they all do the same thing. They all get the same thing. They all get the same amount of light, the same fertilizer, the same basic treatment. But like I said, right now, really the only thing you need to do right now is you need to be building these guys up. Building them up, because food and everything's going to slack off in the wintertime. Then they're going to get cooler. They're going to get that cool temperature growth, which is going to cause the moth orchids to spike. Now that's not necessary for the novelty Phals. The novelty Phals, they'll spike whenever they're ready to spike. They don't have a certain set time or certain set temperatures that cause them to spike like novelty Phals do. But they definitely they need boosting as well. They need the same boosting because they can spike at any time. So you just kind of have to make sure to keep them fed right along with everybody else. So right now, that's basically the only thing you need to be worrying about, is building these guys up with food right now. So that's it, really. Like I said, just keep them in the good light. Keep them in the good light, feed these guys, and, you know, till summer's over, and then we'll talk about fall care for Phals. Fall care, yeah. Fall care for Phals. So that will be coming up soon enough. It's already, you know, the first part of July, so it won't be long. It really won't. It'll fly by before we know it. So yeah. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And with that said, I do appreciate each and every one of you beautiful, wonderful people stopping by and hanging out with me. And bye for now, y'all. Till we meet again. You know what I forgot? You know what I forgot. Like, share, and subscribe if you can. I have free and paid subscriptions. Do a super thanks if you want to. Or just watch the ads, y'all. Appreciate anything that you can do, and you do. You guys are great. With that said, I do appreciate each and every one of you beautiful, wonderful people stopping by and hanging out with me. And bye for now, y'all. Till we meet again.